It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I was in my local Morrison's and they had one of their regional beer festivals. End of the aisle, that's where I found the beers anyway. And I picked up some really interesting beers. I love some of these kind of quirky, you go to these like supermarkets, and I didn't know the beer festival was going on, to be honest with you. So I'm walking along the end of the aisle and I'm like thinking, I've not had that one, or that one. And I'm thinking, it must be one of those kind of regional beer festivals. And I love coming across beers like this, that I'm not meant to know every single brewery in the world. In fact, I don't know a lot of the breweries in the UK. It's impossible to know them all. There's so many, thousands of breweries now in the UK. So when you see something that you've not heard of before, Bowland Brewery Hen Harrier Spectacular Golden Pale Ale, it takes me back to when I first started reviewing beer 12 years ago, where everything was new to me and I was excitedly buying bottles of beer and bringing them home here to review. I still get that initial excitement 12 years later when there's a new brewery. There's a beer I've never heard of, but it's one of those kind of golden ales. Golden ales back in the day, 2010 when I started, were everywhere. In fact, if you looked in the bottled beer aisle, they're probably still very, very popular. Black bottle cap on this one. There were 4 bottles for £6. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass. So 2022 for me has been the year where I've decided to go back to my roots a little bit. I was very excited 7 years ago when people started putting beer in cans because it was a new thing. It was exciting, it was new. Wow, you're putting a craft beer in a can. Normally canned beer is reserved for the likes of Foster's and Carling and Tetley's, and you don't think of quality. Or back then anyway, you wouldn't think of quality when you put a beer in a can. It was all kind of for the mass market brewers. But people started doing it, and then the trend kept on going, and now I'm looking at 3 cans of beer now. In fact, I'll grab them. We got a beer from Wensleydale, 440 can. We got a beer by Horsforth Brewery, West Coast IPA, in a can. Another beer, this is from Polly's, this is there with the Seasons Pale Ale. Again, in a can. So it went very quickly from bottle to can. And somewhere along the line, somewhere in 2021, I found myself, I'm going to be honest, I found myself really bored with 440ml cans of pale ale and New England IPA. It was like the same thing over and over and over again. And by the start of 2022, and I promised myself this, I've had enough of this. I really have. I respect it all. I respect every single brewer. I respect every single, but everybody was doing the same thing. Pale ales and IPAs and New England IPAs. I just got fed up. Really fed up of it. Even I was drinking some of the most amazing New England IPAs and I was still a bit like all IPA'd, burnt out type of thing. Just like one too many of the damn things. I respect the style, I respect people who buy it, I respect where the industry is heading. I'm slightly more excited by this bottle of Golden Ale by Bowland Brewery. This is what I'm trying to get at here. 2022 has been a year for me to go back to bottled ales and a little bit of nice kind of biscuity maltiness with that hop, and a little bit of bitterness from the hops, instead of all of these just soft kind of mango-y beers. The other thing as well, I will get into this beer now in a moment, but the other thing that really pushed me in the direction of bottled beer was the fact that I'm only really telling half the story, aren't I? A lot of breweries then started putting blooming fruit concentrate in their cans, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. When people started putting mango concentrate in their beers and all of these other grapefruit concentrates instead of hops, that was the straw. That was when I went, you know, I'm completely burnt out with this. So I'm having a bit of a break, even though I got 3 cans of canned pale ales and IPAs there. It's a nice refreshing change to get some bottled beer out. Right, time to get to this beer because I've not really talked about it too much. But it looks nice, doesn't it? Nice levels of carbonation, 1 finger white head, nice golden amber in colour. Little bit of haze in there if you like, unless it's the chill on the glass. It is the chill on the glass. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, and you're greeted with like a slightly kind of biscuity butteriness. It's not diacetyl. It's definitely not diacetyl in the beer, but a biscuity kind of nuttiness and a little bit of hops in there as well. This is the reason why I fell in love with real ales, and this is the reason why the channel exists. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, really good, solid, drinkable, malty, biscuity, bready. Lemony. It's hoppy. It's hoppy enough. There's a little bit of bitterness on the back end. There's a little bit of grapefruit in there. There's a little bit of orange peel. There's a little bit of lemon, a little marmalade. So marmalade on rye. Marmalade on rye bread. Toasted rye bread. This is the best way to explain what I'm drinking in this glass. It's spicy, it's peppery, lemony, orange peel. It's biscuity, it's bready. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I'd love to know in the comments box. I'd love to know your feelings on this whole subject. Did you hit the similar, have you hit a similar way of thinking as I did, where everything went into cans and it all just become a bit normal. It all become the norm to drink a can of pale ale in a 440 milliliter can. And I suppose what I'm saying is that if you still look at a decent bottled ale, I know it's a slightly different beer. I know it's slightly more malty, slightly more biscuity and bready, but there's still hops in here. It's still a marmalade-y flavour that's coming through. Spicy marmalade on spicy rye bread. Beautiful. Zesty orange and lemons, but balanced. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's balanced between that citrusiness and the nuttiness, the biscuitiness. I hope this style never goes away. I hope there's a little bit of a resurgence really in bottled ales like this. But then again, if you go to a country pub, you're more likely, one of these pubs that has a little river running at the bottom of it, a little stream, and there's some outside tables and the grass is green, and you know the pub I'm talking about, and that lovely fantastic country pub, then you'll probably find this style of beer in a country pub anyway, rather than some canned craft beer. So maybe it's my love of these bottled ales that I've fallen in love again with, and losing my track of thought here, but I hope these bottled ales don't disappear anytime soon. I think there's a massive market for them. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna rate this now. It's lovely, it's biscuity, it's bready, it's hoppy, it's lemony, there's spicy marmalade in there. I like it. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.